Good morning, Bucknutters, and welcome into the Morning Five on Wednesday, July 30th, 2014. I am Dave Biddle. On today's show, I'm going to give you my biggest takeaways from Big Ten Media Days in Chicago the past few days, and we'll also get into football recruiting. I had a chance to ask Urban Meyer if Chad Lindsey is definitely going to be Ohio State's starting center this season, and Meyer stopped short of saying that would be the case. Meyer said Jacoby Bourne and Billy Price are also in the mix. I think Lindsey will be the starter because I can't imagine that he would have transferred to Ohio State unless he was given some type of assurance that he would start. He only has one season of eligibility remaining, and if he wanted to be a backup, he could have just stayed at Alabama. Hopefully Bourne will redshirt, giving him 2 full years left beginning in 2015. And I think Billy Price will move to guard and perhaps earn the starting job at left guard over Antonio Underwood. Price is a beast. Meyer said his number one concern entering the season is the offensive line, and it's easy to see why. The Buckeyes only returned one starter, junior Taylor Decker, and he's switching sides to left tackle. I think Ed Warner will make sure the O-line is not a weakness, but there will definitely be a drop-off from last year. The only question is how much of one. Meyer said his second biggest concern is pass defense, which is also not a surprise. The Buckeyes finished an embarrassing 110th in the country in passing defense last year, surrendering 268 yards per game. Meyer says the Buckeyes have started from scratch and revamped their pass defense under new defensive coordinator Chris Ash. As for the linebackers, which is one of my biggest concerns, Meyer says he's actually optimistic. In fact, Meyer says it's one of the stronger units on the team, and the linebackers are better than they have been during his first 2 seasons in Columbus. Now, I don't know how a team loses Ryan Shazier and thinks that they are better at linebacker the following season, but it's good to know Meyer feels good about guys like Joshua Perry, Curtis Grant, and Darren Lee. Meyer has been very impressed with the leadership from Perry and Grant this summer. There's no question in my mind that true freshmen Raekwon McMillan and Dante Booker will play. The question is how much. I think there will be a good battle between Grant and McMillan in the middle, but my guess right now is the senior will beat out the freshman. Now maybe McMillan down the line will win the starting job, but I think to enter the season at least, I think Curtis Grant will be the starter. At quarterback, Meyer says that Braxton Miller is, quote, fully healthy, but then said in the next breath he's not ready to play in a game quite yet. I just took that to mean Meyer saying Miller just needs to build up some arm strength after off-season shoulder surgery. Meyer also made it clear that Cardale Jones is definitely the number 2 quarterback over J.T. Barrett. I have to admit I found it a little funny that this was considered big news, considering the fact that everyone already knew Cardale Jones was definitely the number 2 quarterback coming out of spring ball. One more quick thing for Big Ten Media Days. I'm very impressed by Wisconsin. They have an excellent running back in Melvin Gordon and 4 returning starters on their offensive line. I'm willing to bet we'll see an Ohio State-Wisconsin battle in Indianapolis in December for the Big Ten Championship. By the way, there's no doubt in my mind that the Badgers upgraded when they went from Brett Bielema to Gary Anderson. Okay, now on to football recruiting. The biggest news on the recruiting front, in my opinion, is that defensive end Josh Sweat said last night that he would definitely take an official visit to Ohio State. Sweat is, of course, the number 1 ranked player in the country regardless of position, per the 24/7 Sports Composite. He will also visit Florida State, Georgia, Oregon, and Virginia Tech. Our Alex Gleitman thinks that Virginia Tech is the favorite. Sweat is from Chesapeake, Virginia, but Gleitman thinks the Buckeyes have a realistic chance here. Perhaps Ohio State can get Sweat to take his official visit on September 6th, when the Buckeyes will be hosting Virginia Tech. We'll be talking recruiting all day on the Front Row message board. In fact, the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurlick, has his In the Dean's office on the site right now where subscribers can ask him any question. If you're not a subscriber, now's a great time to try our 30-day free trial. You get all of our recruiting coverage, our coverage of Ohio State's preseason camp, the daily boarding house, which is chock full of rumors and inside scoops, and everything else that comes along with being a Bucknuts subscriber. 30 days gives you plenty of time to see if Bucknuts is giving you what you want in an Ohio State website. So give the free trial a test drive. I'll give you your money back if you're not satisfied. Yeah, I know, it's easy to see how I didn't make it as a comedian. Thanks for joining us for the Morning Five. I hope you have a great day. Take it away, best damn band in the land.